pistons and rods coming together, going in the engine. Let's get to it. So in a previous video I did my ring filing, so that's been done for all the rings. Took me a few days to kind of get to this point because on the connecting rods, these ARP bolts, man, they was on there so tight that the cheapo impact that I bought wasn't strong enough, so I ended up having to take it back, try to get something else. That didn't work. Then finally I just ended up going with a vice grip and just kind of taking it off myself. Sometimes all the extra power ain't necessary, and in that case it actually saved me about $75 just because I did it myself or did it without the impact instead of buying the impact. So I took that back since it didn't work. $75 in the bank. Cha-ching. But so got my rods, got my bearings. So I'm gonna put the rod bearings, I'll put that together, then put the pistons on the rod, and then after I put the pistons on the rod, then the rings will go in, and then the pistons with the rings and the rod will go in the engine. So we're gonna get all that done, see what we can do. Okay, so got all my pieces here. Go ahead and take these bolts out. These are the bolts I was talking about. Was really tight off in there. Went and bought an impact thinking that was gonna help me. It didn't. And it looked like they already got some little bit of assembly lube, kind of some torque lube on them too. Serious. Get that in there. Actually, I guess what I could do first is put all of my rod bearings in. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do first. Just put all the rod bearings in, and then come back and start that process. After that, oh, I got extra. Found my extra 1 horsepower with my wiseco sticker. That's 1 horsepower. So I got wiseco sticker. That's 1 horsepower. I got an eagle sticker. That's 2 horsepower. Because that's the rods and the crank. And then I got my comp. That's another 2 horsepower because that's my cam. So I'm already at 5 horsepower. This thing ain't even put together yet. So again, you can kind of see here, you can't see it, but it gives you an upper and lower, so you'll know which one goes where. Now when it sits, the piston is going to sit up here, and then it's going to sit on the crank. So you got your upper and then your lower rod bearing. rod bearings are now in, upper and lower, for all of them. So what I'm going to do is just take one of them and try to put the piston and the rod together, everything like that. So now we got all the pieces, got my rods, pins, locks, piston, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this together. So of course, you know, piston kind of goes in, or rod goes in the piston, but then what you basically do, you kind of go ahead and get this in there, get this ready, and of course it needs to go through. Everything with just a little bit of lube. Good. So on my pistons, you can kind of see right there, there's a groove right there on both sides. And that's where the spiral lock goes in to basically keep the pin from falling out either side, which, you know, keeps the rod and the piston. I think I actually might have something that'll help people out with the spiral lock. Most people kind of just pull them apart a little bit. I think I can get it to where it actually goes in there pretty quickly. So of course, you know, got a little bit of lube on there, get this going. Okay, there we go. So it goes in, sits there. Take your spiral locks and just don't stretch it too far, but you know, give it a good stretch. Go ahead and get your hands in there, stretch it out, kind of keep it to its little spiral length. Kind of start it in there, start it in the groove, and take your screwdriver. And as you start to go in, kind of that first little bit, give it a little spin, and then after that, just work it around. Just like the instructions say. And then, a couple of seconds, boom, it's all the way in there. It's all the way in the groove on both sides, and you're good to go. I think where most of us go wrong is we don't try to stretch the spiral locks enough because we don't want it to lose, I guess, you know, that little bit of rigidity that it has, and then it's harder to get in there. So that might be my quick tip for the day. So now all 8 of them are mated up. In the beginning I thought I was going to have an issue with those spiral locks, but I guess maybe not being an engine builder actually helped me out, because I was actually looking for another way to make it work and ended up finding out that the instructions actually 100% right. Make it easy, quick, ended up doing them a whole lot quicker than I thought I would. So remember, I already, or in another video, I don't know if you remember, but if you haven't seen it, in another video I already filed my rings. So I'm going to put my rings in, and after that, they're going to go in the engine. so in the block. So rings, and then of course piston and rod and rings gonna go in the block. I already got my compressor to kind of help me get them in there, and then I also got, you know, just a little kind of soft mallet, so, or soft hammer, so I can put those in there. So that's going in there next. Set that up, right back. Okay, so spiral locks for, so like the wiseco spiral locks. See that there? Yeah, once you get it started, it will sit down in there, and that'll be it. Don't have to worry about messing them up anymore or anything. Okay, so there we go. Once it start going in, you pretty much just gotta work it around. And you'll have it in there in seconds. And you hear that click, that's it.